as you know, as far as I was concerned last year, at this time, that if you needed, or I should say, one needed no other reason to vote for Hillary Clinton for president over Donald Trump than that one seat on the Supreme Court. And then you can layer in from there the next seat on the Supreme Court and perhaps the next one after that. And the 100 some odd plus federal judiciary vacancies, which are now, incidentally, significantly more than just 100. They're at 149 vacancies. Upcoming resignations will put the vacancies to 166. You will have entire federal circuit benches filled with a majority of Republicans for at least a generation, maybe two. And writing in, I don't know where this guy writes. Fred Barnes, apparently also, I should say, is still alive. And he is writing. And this is indicative of the bunker mentality that the Republicans are in right now. Later in the program, we'll talk about what's happening with the other Republican lawmakers. But this is the most important aspect of what's going on. Aside from, of course, Donald Trump perhaps maybe getting us into some type of nuclear confrontation. Mitch McConnell has made it the number one priority of the Senate to confirm judicial nominees. They're not as worried about legislation. They're not worried about filling the Assistant Secretary of State or the other literally, I don't know, it could be hundreds of positions that still need confirmation in our government. The only thing they care about is getting as many judges sitting on the federal bench as possible. So he is scheduling that, making those a priorities. He's also no longer honoring blue slips. You will recall there was a huge logjam of judges under the Obama administration because it has been Senate tradition for I don't know how many decades that the senator of a state in which a judge is up for confirmation on any given circuit. Now remember how many states Republicans control, can withhold a blue slip of paper, I guess, and essentially make that nomination go nowhere if they disagree with the judge. This was done constantly when Democrats controlled the Senate. Many people said to Patrick Leahy, who was the chair of the Judiciary Committee in the Senate, don't honor these anymore. And, of course, the institutionalism won out until, of course, Mitch McConnell became the Senate leader. The use of blue slips, he said, is not a Senate rule. It's been honored in the breach over the years. Now it won't be honored at all. Technically, you need Grassley, who is the chair of the Judiciary Committee, to also kill it, but they'll do it. He's also getting rid of, or at least bypassing the 30 hours rule, which provides for 30 hours of debate on a nominee. He's going to figure out how to do that scheduling-wise. And yet, he's still getting grief from various conservative outlets that want to get rid of him. From the Judicial Crisis Network, from the Conservative Action Project. Freedom Works is demanding McConnell step down. But he knows why he's there. And this is essentially like, this is the moment where you're in the bunker You see the tanks coming from the attacking army, and you start burning all of the papers in there. This is what he's doing. He's got 13 months, 14, 15 months now until January of 2019, when there's a slight, highly unlikely, but possible chance that they would lose the Senate. And this is what they want to get accomplished. Literally decades of conservative control of the federal judiciary. I don't care what proposals you think you have for government. If 5 justices of the Supreme Court say, hey, guess what? Single payer, that's not constitutional. It won't happen. And I don't think I don't think we have those 5 justices now. We don't. If Kennedy leaves, or one of the liberal judges, left to center, let's say, judges leave, you're going to get close to 5 judges who will say that. If 2 of them leave, that's Johnny Ballgame until someone gets hit by a bus. For anybody who's alive hearing my voice now, anyways. Because a 45-year-old sitting on that court is going to be there for 40 years. So just keep that in mind if you have a time machine and can go back in time and need to reevaluate your vote in Michigan or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania in particular. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos